What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 9 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Mannfred von Carstein Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, finally got that vampiric or undead pike and shot army up and running. Just awesome to see the halberds in combination with these zombie handgunners, the ranks of disciplined undead, each fighting to the last, perfectly disciplined, fearing nothing, all that sort of good stuff. Gotta love it. And I'm expecting great things from this army. We'll probably modify it as we go a little bit. Obviously, it's going to change. The bombers in here are just temporary and stuff, but the core is there, and the core is pretty cool. Anyway, other than that, we also managed to confederate the Red Duke, who's currently offline as he is being reset in terms of his skills. Granted, he was only level 8, but, well, even with level 8, the AI did manage to screw him up a bit, so we'll fix him right up, and then we'll send him to deal with stuff here, though we do have Kemmler nearby, and hopefully we'll get his stuff shortly, too, as we'll, well, we want to get the whole gang back together. Anyway, in terms of what we got to do this time, we are preparing to attack Clan Moors, and we'll be looking to do so, I believe, this very turn, as we still have moves remaining, and we've been waiting to start on that. Krogar has nearly been destroyed by Mannion. It's probably only a couple of turns away until we finish him off for good, and then start heading southward for Teclis and possibly Kairos. I also kind of don't want to meander down here too long, but I think because of their sort of magician traits, those are traits that are good for us. And then we'll either, well, we'll go up, we could go up this way and grab Skavenblight and then proceed to the Empire and towards Vlad, but I'll think about it. Before we get started, two things. First of all, between the episodes, I went ahead and put some names in there. Big old round of naming, and just because I didn't want to waste like 10 minutes in the episode doing those names. So the names that I added at the very least are here. Immortal Landsknecht, the Bale Hooks, von Carstein Temple Guard, Necropolis Guard, Volkmar's Dignity, and Kasabar Templars. For the various units of halberdiers. Then we have Wilhelm von Sinclair, who's been renamed Wilhelm of the Grim Banquet, whose ghouls are named the Famished, the Ravenous Feasters, Graveyard Gourmets, the Ghoul Scouts, the Gaba Ghouls, and Ghoul Storybro, with one crypt ghoul that's going to get deleted, so I didn't name it. Morcane's Massacrers and the Dark Dwellers for the Feral Strigoi, and Morbane Defilers, Deadlifters, Hulking Terror, Swole Survivors, and Crypt Reavers for the Crypt Horrors. Alright, there. Great names. I think we have enough regular ghoul names at this time, because I have like 50 ghoul names, and well, not enough ghouls to fill them. I can't guarantee that the names will get in. I do pick them at random, or ones that make me particularly enthused or amused. But yeah, anyway. We also got Deadshot and Emergency Rations on the two units of crossbows, and I think that's about it. The inevitable death for one of the Banshee Assassins. We'll have a few more Banshee Assassins as well that we'll need naming as we go. That's, I think, all that I can remember for now. Oh, wait. Neckbiters for one of the bats. Bad idea, bat idea, I should say, to name the bats, though, because they'll all die. I can't... Those names are only temporary. Just like the zombies, they'll all die. Anyway, let's get started, shall we? I guess we'll move Manny first. Let's do it in order. I hate not doing it in order, because then I get confused as to where we were. Into Teotiqua should be a quick little auto-resolve right there. Like so, and oh wow, that did a lot more damage to our Graveguard than I would have liked, but all good. Occupy the place, and got a free Shield of Talos out of it. Don't need the Sinister Cops here, and can immediately build a Gibbet to start. Otherwise, who's up next? Kadan von Senkenhoff and Wilmar. Now, you guys... Undiscovered Karazakarek and Undiscovered Crooked Moon. Well, it is interesting that Karazakarek is still alive. We can't ask either of them to declare war on these guys, so I guess we just have to declare war on them directly. Which unfortunately pulls our allies in, and I do think that's unfortunate simply because, well, we want them to declare war on factions that are near them, so that they do things like, well, like this, wherein the followers of Nagash decided to move to Lustria to help out. Frankly, if our allies could take care of Lustria for us, and that would be just swell. And and we'll have to see whether they're capable of doing so. Anyway, I will say we send Kadon von Senkenhof to besiege Karakazgau. Maybe build some, maybe build a ram and some siege tower. Oh, wow. Okay, well, build a ram. We'll send the zombies up those walls. I just want to make sure that we give the rats a chance to sally out. I don't think that they will, but just in case they do, who knows? Why not give them a try? As I would prefer the field, but especially with this army. This army is iffy in sieges until we get more of the Vargeist, but we're working on the capacities. Now, what do we have here at Misty Mountain, and who would want to attack it first? The black coaches are good at breaking down gates, so you guys are quicker, and we can send the skeleton spears up the walls, I suppose. Wait, who has more mana? 137 versus 157. Alright, it's Bathilda. Bathilda, you are going to switch to Vampiric Channeling, and in you go. Alright, Pyrrhic Victory, hello. Okay, it's not Queek, but, ooh, Forbidden Rod. Hopefully we can steal that. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. I do wonder if this is a broken battle or not. Okay, War Banner goes on the Border Mercenaries. I just want to see something. Misty Mountain. Doesn't seem to be a special location, doesn't seem to have a defensive garrison, and... I mean, we could auto-resolve... Ah, no we can't! One of the Crypt Reavers will die. Okay, well that means I guess we're fighting it. Unless we give them also a chance to sally out. How long would it take to build the siege equipment? Oh, it doesn't have walls. It says add walls to the settlement, but we can't build siege equipment? Siege vehicles are not available. Does that mean it's a field battle? What does this mean? I guess we're about to find out. Go.
I serve my sire. Let's get this over with.
Alrighty, here we go. Begun the rat wars have, and we'll see whether we can truly outnumber them here. Big old pile of rats stand against us, but fortunately it looks like they're not going to move to attack us until our reinforcements arrive. Though the ghouls should be up here relatively soon, and we'll stalk them into position on the enemy army's right flank, or left flank rather, and hit them from there, whereas the black coaches can also vanguard deploy and stalk, so we'll use them for the same purpose on the right flank. Anyway, just a few more seconds until we're ready to go. We also want to take care of that Plague Claw catapult as fast as possible, and by the looks of it, unbeknownst to the rats, they are moving said catapult closer and closer to our black coaches. Perfect positioning there. Nice little coincidence, and there we go. And the black coaches charge and suddenly reveal themselves. Of course, they can't use their mass to great effect against catapults because they can't really push them much, but that's alright. And the crews should be fairly fragile, and in fact, the first charge essentially forces them away in terror, which does make sense. Get some nice charges against the clan rats and Skaven slaves that attempt to countercharge them, and of course, we can push them around like this as they can't really bog down the magical chariots. Bathilda moving in to reinforce, and ooh, does look like one of our black coaches does take damage as one of the enemy units of rat ogres move to countercharge. Or to counter, I guess, generally, though they were charging. They were charging and countering, but not necessarily counter-charging, is what I'm getting at. Anyway, against the rat ogres, we'll maybe need a little bit of help, so we'll move Bathilda down to summon a few zombos and take care of those units while the black coaches continue to do their thing and rack up their kills and whatnot. The rest of our army is getting ready to move on in. Slowly but surely, the slower elements of said army are on the approach, and that means the skeletons together with the crypt horrors, who will act as the damage dealers while the skeleton spears hold the line. Black coaches are still in it to win it and still racking up those kills, not moving around too much now, but they are providing a little bit of extra damage, or were providing a little bit of extra damage against those rat ogres. Plus they do have that splash damage on those Cairn Wraith drivers of theirs. And frankly, killing droves of clan rats and Skaven slaves actually works out fairly well for these guys. They may take a long time to do it, but it's allowing us to build up Black Nimbus, even without cycle charging, though we'll do a little bit of it. There we go. Nice, nice. The black coaches can continue in that light, though they will get trapped on occasion by the warp grinders, and the rest of our forces are moving on in. The enemy's left flank is protected by at least 2 units of storm vermin who will be facing off against the feral strigoi and the irregular crypt ghouls, and definitely going to need the armor piercing of the feral strigoi against the storm vermin here, as obviously the crypt ghouls will suffer in this matchup, or struggle at least. Probably both. But I suppose in many ways a crypt ghoul's life is oftentimes suffering. Anyway, unlike the storm vermin, the clan rats get ripped apart very, very rapidly, because the crypt ghouls have very high damage for what they are. 180 units with 53 weapon strength. Against non-armored units, they tear through them like nobody's business. Oh, I cannot wait to get some depth guard in a couple of armies as well. Not a crazy amount, but maybe combine them with some... actually, I wonder what we'll combine them with. I was about to say combine them with some Blood Dragon Warriors. It's certainly a possibility. And we shall see. For now, though, it's time to surround and destroy those storm vermin. The Feasters in the Dusk hit them in the back, and the Feasters in the Dusk have a little bit more armor-piercing damage, as well as that toxic venom. That'll enable them to kill the storm vermin off a little bit faster. Our main line is doing just fine, mostly now blobbed up around where the black coaches were fighting. And, it looks like the... Wait, you're telling me this is an SFO effect? Or maybe it's modified by SFO, because the less effects, or whatever it's called, mod, should remove this effect. Because I really... This is one of my most disliked effects, the unnecessary billion nets all over every single unit. I wish it would just show it once, and then essentially never again. I just think it's poor design, graphics-wise, in terms of covering the entire battlefield with this. Even though it's just a relatively minor debuff and all of that. But whatever. Too bad the mod doesn't get rid of it, but all good. It looks like it doesn't matter, nets or no nets. The enemy army is on the verge of collapse. The bounce power shifts to 95%, and by the looks of it, 100% in our favor, and the rats are overrun. Their left flank collapsed, and it does look like we took a little bit of damage on the graveyard gourmets here, as well as one of the other units of crypt ghouls, as they were once again fighting those storm vermin. Yeah, there we go, the ravenous feasters took damage as well, but they dished it out as well, so good for all of them. Alright, very nice, very nice. The black coaches were an absolute menace to the Skaven, who with their tiny low-mass models have a real big problem slowing them down. Looks like decent amounts of kills on pretty much every unit then, hardly surprising, as the Skaven are pretty darn numerous, but unfortunately for them, the vampires, the undead, are one of the few factions that can outdo their numbers, outnumber them. Anyway, decisive victory for us, and ooh. Looks like the Feasters in the Dusk, the Regiment of Renown, carried the day for the ghouls, but otherwise, in terms of damage, it's the Ravenous Feasters. In terms of kills, it's the Gaba ghouls. They ate well today, and Deadlifters, as well as the Crypt Reavers for the Crypt Horrors. Nice job to all of them. Let's occupy the place, and Misty Mountain, the capital of the Clan Moors, will fall. Gibbet for us here. Enemy killed in battle, enemy killed in battle. Corpse cart balefire for one of the necros by the looks of it. And do we advance? I mean, we could advance towards Crad Tommen, leaving just the one army here. Might not be a bad idea. Let's proceed. You know, switch to... Wait, would you suffer attrition here? No, you're good. And frankly, would the enemy ambushing this army do very well? Well, frankly, Wilhelm and the ghouls are probably a little bit more vulnerable to counter-ambush than Bathilda is, simply because good luck catching the black coaches. But anyway, Children of the Night for you. And we should probably level the Necros as well. Alright, Necros. You, I think, both have 1 point in replenish troops. I guess we should max that out in theory. I really want to try to get to the buffs for the various ghoul units in here. Replenish troops and replenish troops for now, but afterwards. Anyway, Bathilda, you have maxed out Children of the Night, we should get you Immortal Horror in theory, but I think we'll get you Seduction first, and I don't really care about the enemy hero success chance, or if Dark Majesty, Dark Pact is probably something we'll want to get. Maybe it's time to start getting into the Mortis engine buffs, or Mortis engine and the buffs for the Black Coaches, which are fairly decent. It gives us melee defense, which is pretty solid. Anyway, we will go for that, I guess. Make the Black Coaches a little bit more difficult to kill. Their melee defense is very, very low, after all. Anyway, let's see who we got up next. Okay, Manny's guys have leveled up, but we can wait on those, because they'll probably level up again. Gustav Grigorovich, you can... Your mana's full. You know what? Sit here in the Plain of Tuskers for a little bit until we max out your army. Frederick, however, I would like you... In fact, I'd like to do several things. Recruiter, I would like you to go... Let's see, what do we have here? What's the closest high tier? 2.7k, eh? And was there not a high tier? What do you have? 3.3k, we got 2.9k. There's 4k at Martek. Oh, there's 4k at Zandri as well. Alright, start going this way then. Try to move towards Zandri or Camry, I suppose. Unfortunately, this thing doesn't work very well. The raised dead thing, it doesn't show all the troops. It's kind of buggy, because if you take a look at it, there's like a billion things like Vargulfs and Vargeists here, but we wouldn't see it there. But anyway, let's do that. I'd like to get the defeat trait of Kroggar on Frederick here. So let's move him, just keep moving as far and as fast as you can, past Orion's camp to Kroggar by the time that Manny gets here. Manny's going to take at least 2 turns to get there anyway, and then you can get there by that time and acquire that defeat trait. Why do I want it? Because of the Blood Dragons have very low melee defense, but very high melee attack, and Soros Smiter gives us plus 10 melee defense, which is pretty darn solid. Anyway, Gustav Grigorovich, stay where you are. Oh! I forgot. Another 2 units I named. Woe and the Whalers and Chilling Breeze for a couple of the Spirit Hosts. And we'll probably only have 3 Spirit Hosts in this army. 3 Spirit Hosts and 3 Sirens. 4 Cairn Wraiths. 4 or 5 Hex Wraiths. I just love Hex Wraiths, so I'd put them in every army if I could. But anyway, I believe that's all for that, at least for the moves. Let's see about building. Line of the Dead. No. Let's do... No. There was a gibbet somewhere here, but I'm blank. Now there it is. Alright, let's do that gibbet. Any more gibbets? Aha, Gorgazan. Another gibbet for you, and I guess we'll go into Charnel Pit as well. Kingdom of Beasts. Aha. We can gibbet you up. I'd love to upgrade the Serpent Coast thing, but it'll probably be too costly. Land of the Dervishes. We could do the Poaching Camp, and that'll be all of our cash. Gonna need more cash, game. Gonna need a lot more cash. And Garrison, just like real life, unassigned skill points, and I believe we're ready to end the turn. I'm on the turn. Alright. Don't want to do any of those rights as yet, but who knows, next time one of those... Has it been a while since we got the last dilemma? One of those dilemmas comes up, maybe we'll see. Silustra, you want a military alliance now? No. Really prefer to vassalize you, which was very much possible last episode, but kind of iffy. We don't want her to get just destroyed just by virtue of being our vassal, at least until we peace out with the various elves. In which case they'd have to declare war on us, or we'd have to declare war on them. And, I was just talking about you, Dilemma. Another Kitab el-Azif. The other option would be to do this. Night Court Supremacy +1. And then pop the right to do a Night Court Supremacy -1 immediately to get it back down to 0, because you want it at 0 because the buff is better, just generally speaking. Of course, these are really, really nice as well. Even if you discount the raised dead cost reductions, the ability to have bound spells is really swell. But, I don't know, we haven't managed to use that right as yet. And this would enable us to do so. Plus, we picked Kitab el-Azif 2 times before, so why not? Grant him passage. This will take us to +1 Night Court Supremacy, which means we lose plus 10% casualty or punishment rate in our territory and income from buildings 10%, so probably fairly significant. However, Oh, Empire Spy, come from all buildings plus 20. Lovely. Lovely. You, recruiter. You can have that Empire Spy. Oh, wrong recruiter, isn't it? You have the Empire Spy. Just because you have all of this stuff. And I'll deal with you in a second. What we'll do then is do this one. Assemblage of Necromancers giving us a -1 Night Court Supremacy, so essentially we'll get the buffs from this for 10 turns, so it's not bad. I wish it didn't cost a blood kiss, but, well, we might as well use them now because they're going to cost more blood kisses later. Anyway, Mannfred, you are finally nearly maxed out on mana. What's the likelihood the Crocky attacks you? Let's say low. Go right here. Somewhat unlikely, let's say. Alright, and, it didn't go down, Night Court Supremacy... -1 next turn. Oh, okay. It'll go down next turn, which is then will be fine. You start assassinating some jerks. 46% chance to succeed. What about here? 47. All right, let's do the 40. Wait, 47 is slightly higher. Wait, no, it's 47 chance to fail. No. Almost played myself. All right, let's give it a try. Come on, free blood kiss. Hey, well done. Well done, inevitable death. Truly inevitable. Friedrich von Carlsbruck, you can suffer attrition for a turn and attack Krokgar. Watch him attack you. Well, yeah, probably one of our only current armies that can actually deal with all those Fire Leech Bolas, because you have the handgunners. We need a we got a Necromancers. We need another one. Well, I guess we can pop you in here for now. Or maybe not even for now. Anyway. Let's keep going. So, this. We got 1 battering ram and 2 of these up and running. What I would also like to see here is this. If we take a look at you, can you raise a Vargeist now? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. That's what you're going to do. You're going to go into... Oh, you're already in the Necromantic Ritual stance. Say goodbye to one of the fell bets. And say hello to Vargeist. Oh, wow. That's expensive. That is insanely expensive for a single unit. Huh. 4.6k? That seems crazy. Destruction. Huh, this guy can raise him for 3.5k. Oh, because he has the Kitab El Azif already. Do you have the Gravedigger? And you have the Gravedigger, and that's still expensive. Wait. Just out of curiosity. If we use Recruiter here in Necromantic Ritual stance, you can raise it for 224. You know, I'd rather save the 4k or whatever it was. I guess I shouldn't have deleted that, but let's do this. We'll raise you, and you know what, and get the Morngul. And probably not the Vargulfs yet, but we'll look into it. Let's get another Cairn Wraith here. It'd be nice if we had a Hex Wraith available, but doesn't look like we have one here. I wonder where we would. You know what? You. I was gonna send you up here, but we'll grab the Vargeist and send it north. And I'd also like to take a look at what's going on here in Khemri in terms of the available units. Probably not a Hex Wraith, but yeah, okay. That's fine. And we have 2 Cairn Wraiths here. 2 + 2, 4, yes. I can do math. Not really. You're gonna go down here and swap those units to this guy as soon as you can, and you, Recruiter, will keep moving northward to transfer that Vargeist. And by the time you get there, who knows, you might be able to raise another Vargeist. You, Assassin, and did I not build another one? Yes. Other Assassin, go find and farm some Blood Kisses. Peter Grigorovich, one of our new White Kings. And you are going to join Mannfred at the same time as we get the Claw of Nagash Mortis engine. Then, wait, do we not finally have the Vampire Crypts? We do finally have the Vampire Crypts. Transfuser, passive ability recovery for the accompanying Lord. Huh. A small region for the accompanying Lord? Well, that's lovely. And diplomatic relations -5 with all factions. Sharpened Fangs, recovery for Fellbats. Ooh, yes. Yes, please. Recovery for Fellbats. Yes, please. Wait. This is important. Kasabar, Antok, and Bagar. Okay, let's raise you. Sharpened Fangs. We're gonna go with the Flying Army. We were gonna put at least 2 vampire heroes in the Flying Army anyway. So this will work out nicely. Power up the bats. Alright, and you can have Spirit Leech. Spirit Leech spam is nice. Alright, frankly it would be nice to get the Shadow Lord in that army as well. We could do the Transfuser. I don't really care about the bleed or the casualty or punishment rate, but free recovery for the Lord. It's quite decent. Effect range plus 100% for Dark Benediction. Duration infinite, effect range 50 seconds. That's a plus 5 armor piercing weapon damage for everybody at all times. Huh. That's also pretty strong. I might put one of these in another army. This would actually work well, very well for armies that lack armor piercing weapon damage. Wait, we need to take a look at this. First of all, well, the Graveyard are actually okay in that regard. What about the Crypt Ghouls, though? We could put a Vampire with them. Their armor-piercing weapon damage is quite low. Oh! Now, you know what we should do? We should put one of those with the Zombie army. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Yeah, we'll do Dark Benediction with one of the Zombie armies. Effect range, duration infinite, plus 5 armor-piercing weapon damage, affects all allies, yes. Power up those zombies even further. Nice. And, okay, while we're here, let's do the Transfuser for now. I like the Accompanying Lord thing, and then we'll see. We'll see what other ones are available later, and then we'll, you know, base it off of that. Necromancer, just a Malevolent one available, so nothing else. I think no new White Kings available, and another Singular Focus Banshee. Alright, we already have 3 Assassins, and I think we can hold off on getting another one right now, because we need another Banshee in the actual Ghost Army. Technologies. We could do Power of Nagash with additional Winds of Magic Power Reserve, which is always great, but I think for now... Spellbat power-ups are nice, but I think for now we'll want to go into this. Incantations of Ashura to upkeep reduction, Crypt Ghouls and Crypt Horrors, and then into Soulbinder for the upkeep reduction for the various ghosties. I just want to try to get the Spirit Shackles quickly to get the barrier for the ghosts and the battle healing gap, because it's a significant aspect of their power, so yeah. Alright, I think it's time to do this one, Undead Researcher. Oh, you can no longer reach the place. Oh, fortunately you have 6 turns available. Alright, so I guess you can move up here. You guys, just so I don't forget. Success and... Success, good job. Alright, you guys, time to strike. It'll be a little bit more difficult without that second... Ooh, working through all of those... for all of those elite garrison units is going to be an issue. It would have been nice to have an additional Vargeist, but we will deal. Also, what are you? Okay, so you are not... You are Plague and not Ruin, and that's fine. Meaning no Howling Warp Gale to deal with. Beautiful. Go. Alrighty, here we go. I'm very excited about this battle. I normally find most sieges a little bit on the boring side. I prefer the field battles for let's say interesting fights, but this is absolutely the kind of siege that I love. We just have piles and piles of zombies and bats, and we don't care about their casualties at all, so we can send them up the walls, through the walls, into the enemy guns, choke them with the shambling dead, heedless of our casualties. And casualties there will be. The enemy does have the avalanche mortars on the field, which is one of the most devastating regiments of renown in the entire game, and they're kind of a perfect unit to destroy droves of zombies as well. Does look like they are starting to focus on the corpse carts, but also the other units were out of range, so it does make sense that they're firing on these guys first. While it looks like the catapults are going after the zombies pushing the ram, but that hardly matters. Even if the zombies pushing the ram die, we'll simply get more zombies to push it. Alright, it looks like some of the other catapults are hitting the corpse carts as well, but that's alright, though not the Screaming Skull catapults, the Plague Claw catapults are actually quite decent at dishing out damage against single entities, so we do have to be careful about them hurting some of our units. Necro here, well, lost about 15% of his HP, that's after a heal though, so yeah. In the meantime, our Scorpions, Tomb Scorpions. I keep wanting to call them Crypt Scorpions. Maybe I should rename one to Crypt Scorpions. Our Crypt Scorpions are going after the enemy gate in order to try to break through. I have also given some thought to maybe putting them in another army and doing something else with the zombies here. The thing I realized is the Slaver trait that some of the other lords can get or do have, like Bathilda currently has, gives that Ravenous Hunger ability to all units in army, which is a minor regenerative heal when you're in melee, but that would be perfect for the Scorpions, which don't benefit from the Invocation of Nehek by virtue of being constructs. And thus, perhaps that would be a way for us to actually keep constructs alive. This would also give us specific armies that can sort of work with Tomb King units better, which would be nice. But anyway, all that aside, it's time for the storm of the enemy, the zombie storm, to begin. We're heading up those walls. We'll be taking probably thousands upon thousands of casualties, especially against the relatively elite enemy garrison, as opposed to the garrisoning army, as the garrison has storm vermin and all that good stuff. All right. And let's see if the rats enjoy our numbers. The Tithe will lead on the left flank, as they were in one of those siege towers, and they do pretty solid damage. The Tithe also have armor-piercing weapon damage at 47, so they're the damage dealers of our zombie hordes. Gate is finally down, and it's time to head on in. Corpse carts and Crypt Scorpions will lead their way into the enemy settlement. And several thousand zombies will follow, and several thousand zombies will probably herald our arrival as well as we begin summoning Raise the Dead. We waited until we had enough capacity, or Winds of Magic capacity, to make sure that these guys don't disintegrate or don't unsummon themselves, or at least we should have. I'm not sure why that one got destroyed, maybe just crumbled away. Unless the desync causes that, but anyway, we should be able to get zombies up and running in decent numbers. While the Tomb Scorpions can use their mass to get through the enemy formation and chase down critical enemy units. Natty Bebo's sharpshooters, for example, the Warplog Giselles can't be having those sniping us, so that'll be their job. And there we go, the zombies are in the settlement, they're through the gate, they're up on the walls, they're everywhere. And the enemy can keep dropping those spells and knocking droves of them out, but we have droves more where that came from. Absolutely love it. And of course our reinforcements are on the field as well. It's not just a zombie day, but a Fellbat day as well. Our reinforcements arrived on this flank, and we'll be heading to find all the enemy range units, touch down upon them and destroy them, and really any isolated melee units as well, as we have sufficient bats to simply mob them and overrun them. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. This is what it should always feel like when you're fighting the vampire counts, and not even counting the elite units, just the insane amounts of the chaff units, which is why I still think they really need to introduce the WoW mechanic for the vampire counts. I think I've preached that for pretty much every single campaign I've ever done since I started the channel, so it's been a while. Somebody someday will listen to me. It's the mechanic is already there. The orcs already have it. Just do it with zombies for these guys, and it's all good. They'll still be the weaker variant of zombies since they won't get the buffs from the red line, so they'll just act as chaff anyways. They'll be vastly inferior anyway to the orcish was. I really don't see any negative to it, other than, well, making the vampire counts feel more lorefully appropriate. Anyway, the Vargheists lead the bats to touchdown in the enemy formation, melee and missile troops alike. being mobbed, and once again, more bats where that came from above, more zombies where that came from below, and frankly, more rats where that came from as well, as they continue to move on in and fight us. There's a nice little preview of Nagashazar, probably for those of you familiar with the lore, a good reminder of the sort of war for Cripple Peak that eventually gave rise to the fortress of Nagashazar, where the Skaven under Empire, was sort of tearing their hair out, dealing with the undead of Nagash and just constantly fighting him. Definitely one of the most brutal wars in the Warhammer world. And this is probably a lot what it was like. Minus, of course, being in tunnels constantly with, once again, droves and droves of Skaven and undead. Ah, I love it. Tactically, I suppose there isn't too much to say about this. It's just keep on summoning the zombies until you grind them down with your numbers, and by the looks of it, it is still going to take a while. Fortunately, the enemy's backline has suffered pretty greatly, though, looks like they're moving in some Plague Monks and Plague Monk Sensor Bearers. Unfortunately for the bats, that's not a good matchup, and the bats will probably get obliterated here. But if we suffer a couple of bad casualties, it's not too bad. They're definitely a disposable unit in the same manner as zombies are. I do wish they weren't so expensive to raise dead, as they're considerably more expensive than zombies, but oh well. Alright, our Crypt Scorpions are burrowing on through and attacking to help out against the Plague Monks and the Sensor Bearers. The armor-piercing weapon damage on the Tomb Scorpion / Crypt Scorpion is a little bit wasted here, but all good. At least our bats will dish out damage, and though the fell bats have low melee attack and defense, fortunately 42 melee defense, actually fairly solid on the Sensor Bearers, and damn, 73 melee attack on those Plague Monks. Very, very nice. They're kind of like our Crypt Ghouls. They're fragile, but they'll mince unarmored infantry quite well. As in the Plague Monks will. And the Sensor Bearers can heavily damage armored infantry. Anyway, Vargeist's still in the fight, not in as great numbers as we'd like them to be, but we're working on increasing them and then separating these armies to do their own things. Which I'm sure will follow rather shortly. And hello, more zombies join the fray, ever more zombies. And we even got some doggos moving in to help out just because they can. I've moved several of our bats back once they've taken damage, gonna heal them up a little bit and send them back into the fray. Looks like the enemy are now finally starting to run out of rats, but we are not running out of bats or zombies. I wonder how many kills some of our zombie units will have racked up by the end of this. Well, it should be pretty interesting. Let's see. Well, probably not as many as some of the Skaven units. I think I saw 200 something on somebody. This zombie unit has 225 kills. Very, very nice. The Tive's up at 184 as well, though that's hardly surprising. And the Tive would have had more, but they were up on the walls and they were attacking the two enemy heroes that were up there and mobbing them in the same way that we're doing to the rest of the enemy army. Bounce power shifts to 100% in our favor at last. I believe the enemy lord has fallen, hunted down by Wilmar of the Thousand Wings, and with that, this battle is ours. A beautiful, beautiful fight, and just look at all those zombies that we summoned. Well, summoned and brought with us. I do believe a couple of the units of bats did disintegrate. This one might be coming back, but, well, casualty-wise, I think we did pretty darn well. Very, very nice. Alright, there we go. Very, very nice. Storming the walls and winning with good old-fashioned zombie gumption. 6.4 thousand Skaven versus 4,000 zombies and bats. Lost a couple of bats for our trouble, but, well, that was always going to happen. Frankly, I'm surprised none of the zombies died, but they were clustered around, and, well, a cluster around the corpse carts, which does make sense. Just gotta get a couple of Necro Heroes in here, a Mortis Engine, and we'll be good. Also, decent work from the Tomb Scorpions of Kadan, which did plenty of damage and kills, though looks like they were outdone by this one unit of zombies. And the Tithe did pretty solid as well. Very nice. We will... I mean, it is yellow territory, but I guess we could still just straight up occupy it. Enemy killed in battle, corpse cart with an unholy lodestone. There we go. That's better for Mr. Kadan. And I guess you two will still sort of hang around each other. And oh, that got cheaper. Oh, it's because we were in enemy territory. That's why I was wondering. You can raise... Yeah, you can raise for considerably cheaper. You know what, we'll raise another Vargeist for you next turn, just not this turn. And I guess we'll still bring the other one. It'd be a heck of a long way to travel all the way up there, but, well, whatever. All good. Still want to travel up there just in case there's some good stuff to raise nearby anyway. Anyway. That was a nice fight, Bathilda and Wilmar. So let's see what's going on at Cradtomen. Alright, here. And not much. We will still have Bathilda reinforced because these two have been working together.
It will be done.
And until their armies are complete, we'll probably continue working together for a while. Oh, we have a... we can actually build the Vargeist here if we wanted to. I wonder how much they would cost to build. 2.4k to build, and 700 to raise. I'm gonna go with raise rather than build here. We also have Vargulfs available. I was gonna give them to Vlad. We might put a couple more in another army. Frankly, I find it bizarre that the Strigoi bloodline have the Slaver, Rotten, Bogfallen, and Blackheart trait. Once again, I kind of ranted about this in another episode. Blackheart should be replaced by something that buffs Vargulfs. It actually makes no sense that Strigoi don't have any kind of Vargulf buffs in any of their traits because Vargulfs are very much in the lore sort of connected with Strigoi. They tend to live with ghouls and specifically Strigoi Ghoul Kings. And you know what? They're also kind of similar as to what they are. Strigoi are kind of a degenerated form of the vampire, and a Vargulf is essentially that as well, a beastly degenerated vampire. Frankly, a lot of the Strigoi probably turn into Vargulfs, so yeah, it's odd that they don't have any Vargulf buffs because there's a big tie to them in the lore. Maybe SFO should consult somebody with a little bit of the lore knowledge there. But anyway, and generally speaking, SFO is pretty good keeping things loreful. But yeah, Blackheart should definitely be replaced by a Vargulf buff. I think we should have one in the von Carstein line because they like their beasts, their direwolves, and their bats. Where's our von Carstein guy? Oh, that's Wilmar. Let me just see here. Yeah, you have the Nightborn trait, which gives you Vargulfs and the various flying units. Honestly, I'd create another trait. I'd call it either Ghoulkin or just Kindred, for example, and then have it buff maybe just Vargulfs and Mournghulls, specifically for the Strigoi. If we're not adding them to the various buffs that the ghouls get. But anyway, that's just me. Rest of you, let's attack this. I'll resolve this real quick. A little bit of damage on us, but shouldn't be too much of a problem. And occupy the place. Dragonhelm, don't care for it. Scabscrath, do care for it. And Blightwater secured, lovely. We'll pop you into Repress Mortals immediately. Lovely. Keep the Abyssal Wood there for now. We're going to delete it shortly, although more Vargeist capacity isn't a bad thing. You know what? Maybe actually keep it, at least for now. Just get rid of the Barrow, because it doesn't really do anything for us here. Alright. Also, did we check Necros this turn? I guess we did. So, Wilmar, you need to switch to Channeling. Kadan, you need to leave the settlement and switch to Channeling. And Wilhelm, you need to leave the settlement and switch to Channeling. And Bathilda, you cannot switch to Channeling, but you would if you could. Alright. Gustav, hey, how dare you not be Channeling? Everybody should be channeling at all times. And anybody else? Oh, right, we gotta move the heroes around. Alright, you're finding Gorsty Boy, so go find him. Keep an eye on what's going on here as well. Maybe steal some tech from Kugath or something like that. Transfusion. Okay. Transfusion Agent, you're up next. Wait, that was Transfusion Agent. Copyweight Infringement, you're up. Failure. No, 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 no. Alright, come on, save us. Okay, good, grave robber. Hope you found some good stuff. Alright, none for you, as in no mount, because we're not paying for it. Alright, who are we missing? Thanatologist, you give it a try. Steel Tech, and success for you, and Statutory Lich Sense. Do it as well. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, I'm gonna level them up, though. Specialist going to wound, just in case there are characters to be wounded. Anybody else? Okay, those are the vamps. And those are fine where they are. Brain collector. Keep stealing from Castle Beston, I guess. While you're here in failure. Come on, man. Now at least you leveled up. That's with all the buffs that we have as well. Oh, did I miss somebody? No, it's the vampires, I think. Well, actually, let's take a quick look at the vampires as well. I just want to see if they buff anybody particular. This is their own personal buffs. Oh, right, the vampires all have this, which is lovely. Seduction of the Lamians gives us diplomatic relations with all factions. Post-battle chance of stealing a magic item plus 30% for the accompanying lord, as well as additional research and the charmed contact effect. Though that does replace the bleed, which means less damage overall. Still, it's a very nice overall trait. Otherwise, I don't think they buff any specific unit, or at the very least, I don't see any specific unit buffs, though that Dark Benediction does appear to be quite nice, so yeah. Vampires do seem nice, and frankly, there's probably a good argument to be made for putting one in every single army just for that Dark Benediction. Once again, it is weird that Spirit Hosts don't have armor-piercing damage like the other ghostly units do, but, well, we could give them more by putting a vampire in there if we desire to. Anyway, we got a little bit of money out of all of that, so let's see if there are any more gibbets to be upgrading. And we'll go next turn. Could upgrade the Serpent Coast by 1, but I'd prefer... You already have the gibbet. Damn you. Okay, ignore the Balefire Brazier for now. Stormhenge we don't care about, well, actually, I'm gonna at least build the charnel pit there for now. Alright, fine, I guess we are upgrading Serpent Coast after all. Go for it. We'll probably need to, well, we don't need to do this right now. Virus is not super critical. Black Tower of Mannfred, alright, I named this between the episodes as well. Firehearth is fine. You know, I'm going to hold on to the rest of the cash for now. Is Lord not moved on the Sand skill points? Building upgrade available. Outpost upgrade available. Not worth it. And outpost in general available. Alright, with the drowned. Oh, and also missions available. Krokgar. Easy. Definitely going to do that. And he's worth a decent amount as well. Let's do Crocky then. We will build an outpost in the Twisted Glade. Like so. Hopefully it doesn't get attacked by the elves, because that would be a problem for us. Let's check Diplo real quick before we end the turn. Bowmen of Orion. Knights of Calador nearly want to trade, but probably because they're very weak right now. Nobody wants to be our vassals, and... Cult of Sotek want to peace out. Maybe we peace out with them. I'd like to peace out with all of these lizards here, so that we can then redeclare war on them, but force Harkon into fighting them. That's fine. Cult of Sotek out. We've already taken some of their territory. Like so. Alright, and just to double check, Harkon, who are you at war with? You're currently at war with... Not with Itza, but it's fine. What I'd really like you to do is be fighting the Bretonnians. Because we're at war with less defenders and clan wars, however, you might not want to. No, against Itza, and no against Bordello Errant, but no. We'll just wait a little bit, and then we'll declare war, and then force them into the war with them. With us, rather. Anyway, end turn. Alright. Well, the turn is ending. Once again, we did reach the engagement threshold of 400 likes and 60 comments, and obviously this is going to be a long episode, and if we reach it one more time with the streak, tomorrow, Saturday, we'll get 2 episodes once again. Looks like Aranessa wants a defensive alliance, eh? I'd really like to become vassal instead. Still no. I'm going to say no on this for now. Although, getting her to be a defensive ally wouldn't be too bad either, because obviously we'd also get access to her units, but nonetheless. Nonetheless, for now, keep it going as we're going. Made sense, right? Ella begins outpost construction. Ambusher discovered. Glamour Weather Strathought. I don't know why that matters to us. Red Duke. Ready for action. Gravedigger. Good. All right, Red Duke, you are going to be here. We are making some Graveguard for you, and... oh, we could probably be naming some of these. Yes. I guess we get you up and running immediately. I wonder how much you cost. Oh, because you're technically a legendary lord, you're free, eh? Love it. Alright, you can go here. We can keep using Maxence here as a recruiter. Yeah, why not? A recruiter like so, and the Red Duke. So, you have the Scourge of Aquitaine, which gives you a plus 25 armor for Graveguard and Black Knights. We're not going to take advantage of the buffs to Black Knights, because we're already using tons of them in Mannfred's army, and instead we'll use the Ordo Draconis buff to get at least a few Blood Knights in your army. You are a Blood Dragon, but you are not actually an Ordo Draconis Blood Dragon, so we'll make a separate Ordo Draconis army with the Blood Dragon Bloodline Lord leading. And this guy will have a few, but, well, not a crazy amount. We'll still have the bulk of his army made up of a Graveguard in combination with some Blood Knights. Anyway, that means we can go into Unliving Host. 1, 2, 3. Let's get you the Restless Dead, and we'll start moving through Children of the Night immediately. Get those upkeep reductions going fast. We'll obviously get you Necros as well. Hey, and we got a Witherer here immediately. That's perfect, buddy. Perfect. I'll deal with your skill points later. Speaking of heroes, what else do we have as options? Malevolent? No. Let's check Banshees, let's check Vampires, etc., etc. Gotta keep building our armies. Do that Crypt Rider. Okay, I want to check the wrong place. Banshee, Spiteful. There we go. That's the one I wanted. We'll get you. And then you're gonna join our Ghosty army. Speaking of Ghosty army, can you raise anything interesting? Okay, no. Can you raise anything interesting here? No. What we can do, though, is what I wanted to do last turn, which is Kadon. You are going to go into Necromantic Ritual, and then you will raise... Ooh, we can raise a frickin' Blood Dragon Warrior here? Oh, right, because our Blood Dragon... Our building got completed. You should be able to raise a couple of Vargheists. Yes? Yes. So it's 2, right? Okay, so trade a couple zombies. Raise dead. 2 Vargheists. Anything else interesting here that we want to raise immediately? Obviously, the Blood Dragon Warriors for the other army, but that's for the other army, not here. Wouldn't be useful. Vargulfs are going with Vlad, though once again, I'll probably put a few in a few armies. And I think that's it. The Morngulls are also going to a specific army, but we don't have it up and running yet, and we probably wouldn't be able to afford it anyway. Vargheists. Here. Oh, right. Took some zombies. Alright, those bats died, and those were the bats that got replaced by Vargheists anyway, so that kind of worked out. Kadon and Co.
Yes.
How are we gonna do this? You can't raise more Vargheists here, can you? No. I guess you two will push on towards Dringo Karaz. Dringo Rakaz, whatever. And hello. Well, what is this? Is this Imric? It is indeed Imric. Hi, he's looking to take some of these territories. Frankly, other than assault at Karakazgal, we don't care. We want the book at Karak 8 Peaks, which is why we're here in the first place. Otherwise, we wouldn't have cared about these rats. And of course, there's also Nagashazar, or as someone suggested in the comments of a previous episode, Manfredazar, as soon as we capture it. So, yeah, anyway. You two grab Dringo Rakaz, please. Nobody will die by the looks of it. Now we're good. Free Banner of Swiftness as well, then occupy it. Once again, yellow territories that we don't particularly care about, but for now we'll hold on to them. And both of you stay outside and channel.
Yes.
Double check, no Vargheists here now. Assassins, I would like you to move up here, and speaking of assassins, wait, you succeeded last turn, so you still have exhaustion, so we can't do anything about that. You're supposed to join Manny. You are gonna go into channeling. Right here. And we'll see if Kroggar attacks you. And I guess, Manny, you're gonna just sit here for a turn. Oh, hopefully Krogard doesn't attack you. I think he'd be crazy too. But I'm willing to spend the extra turn to get Frederick von Carlsberg his defeat rate. It's worth our time. Let's get your replenished troops while we're at it. All right, preparing to attack. Good. So that's Manny. Any other raised dead? Okay, first of all, we need to transfer some stuff. You are going to get the Hex Wraiths and the Cairn Wraiths. You don't need more than 3 Spirit... well, technically... Okay, technically the Spellbreakers and the Konigstein Stalkers are going to the Mourngul army, so we'll take them out. You're also getting another Banshee and some Necros. You, Recruiter, are now going to move away from here. And hopefully find another place where you can raise some more stuff that's needed. You know what, let's try the desert, let's try going this way. Just basically go around raising Mournguls and other stuff until we can pick up the... ooh! What do we have here? Mournguls. Beautiful. Oh, we'll do it next turn because we need... more of our guys. Because we need to reduce it even further. And Grigorovich, you are going to fight the... Oh, wow, that might be a little much for you until your army is actually complete. You really need more Hex Wraiths, including the Chillgeists, but 2 probably won't be enough as yet. Alright, wait for the other Banshee, wait for the other Necro, etc., etc., so just sit out here and channel. Alright, who else needs to move? Kadon and Wilmar. I guess we need to loop back to the Floating Village and Morgheim to pick those up, don't we? Alright, fine. Bit of an annoyance, a minor one, but annoyance nonetheless. Head down here then and deal with it. I wonder if there's anything to raise in this location. More Vargheists perhaps? No. But we'll keep an eye out. Alright, let's do the Tech Thieves while we're at it all at once. And like so, and there's more Tech Thieves down here somewhere. Tech Thievery and... Okay, there's some failures, some successes. I'll deal with their skill points assigning between the episodes, just not to waste time. Where is Cam? Looking in the wrong place. Where are... Oh, you're right here. Failure. Come on, man. Come on, man. What are you doing? I wonder if we should grab Castle Artois. There's nobody here. Where are you going? Where are you even fighting here? You're fighting just Bretonnia and you're kind of running around them. Okay, interesting. Keep doing that, I guess. We need to move the vampires into the various locations, and we also need to see whether new interesting vampires have come up. Okay, there's another one with the Mortal Tenacity, which is quite nice. Insatiable Frenzy for Dire Wolves. Huh. That's also interesting. Okay, fine. I guess we're getting a vampire. I wish they weren't so ludicrously expensive, but what can you do? I guess you're going to that army then. Immortal Tenacity, you're going to the zombie army, so you're going up there. You have the transfer recovery for Lord, so you could be with anybody, really. I think maybe 2 should be sufficient for, well... You know what? All 4 of you go up north for now. They can at least level there. We can possibly change some of that stuff later. And we have nobody else, right? Yeah, doesn't look like it. Alright, lots of heroes, but that just means more troops and fun stuff. Inevitable Death, you're good. Undead Researcher, it looks like I forgot one of you. Go for Crooked Fang Fort for 1 turn before we take it. Which is probably next turn as well, assuming that they don't have good defenders, which by the looks of it, they probably don't. Transfusion Agent, you... 2 more turns. You know where you're going. Alright, we found Kugath. I see Drajueth is still alive as well. Alright, Gorsty better not be dead. -4. Oh no, did he die? Huh. He might have been destroyed. He's losing corruption, and Nurgle corruption is rising in the Haunted Forest. 50 -1. I don't see vampire corruption rising anywhere. Oh no, Gorst. Well, if he died, he died. I'm not getting the mod to resurrect him because I don't like it. So just his fate. We'll see though. He might still just barely be alive. I didn't see an announcement that he was destroyed, but it might not have made it. Anyway, Recruiter, you're still going where you're supposed to be going, right? No more Vargheists here. Keep moving up this way. I actually reached them fairly quickly. So you don't need to worry about transferring those. Get Children of the Night as well. And keep an eye out on any other potential units to be raised. Alright, that looks good to me. Is that an end turn? That is indeed an end turn. Yes, minus the potential building. Oh, we really need so much more cash everywhere. Especially if I keep building heroes and upgrading stuff, it gets expensive. Okay, let's do you. Let's just do everything here. Gibbet, spices, whatever, and that's basically all of our cash already. Do your Gibbet, and Teotiqua, your charnel, but no, wait, you don't need a charnel pit. Your main settlement. I guess we could build another lich yard here. Alright, that looks good. Skip unassigned skill points, building upgrades, and... Ooh, next turn we can pop the True Knight. No, we can't. We gotta wait until the Blood Kiss thing runs out. How long? What's the duration of this? It should go back down to 1... Next turn, I hope? We'll see. End turn. I guess we'll find out in a few seconds. Huh, they are gonna go for Karl, or for Frederick von Carlsberg, eh? That's kind of interesting. Revenant Host? Oh, I thought you would be able to put it on the Scarlet Knights, but apparently not. That's disappointing. So you can't put it on any unit here. We have one on regular Black Knights. Okay. Well, the Pterodon Riders of Fire Leech Bowlers are going to be a problem. Crocky might be a bit of an issue for us, as he's a strong fighter, but he doesn't have Grimlock as yet. Either way, I think it'll be a great fight. And this way, we'll get to actually earn that defeat trait without having Mannfred do it, so that works too. Go.
Our time is now.
Alrighty, our time is now indeed. We were going to have Manny acquire this trait for us, but it looks like Frederick von Carlsberg will have to earn it. And that's probably just the way he'd have it. He is a blood dragon after all, and will want to face off against the champion of the last defenders, and in many ways a champion of the lizardmen. Here we go. I'm going to start the battle off with the enemy flyers moving towards us. Normally we'd be extremely vulnerable to this tactic if we didn't bring bats and whatnot, but this is our pike and shot army, and thus we have cannon, and we have the handgunners to fire right back at the enemy. Cannons, unfortunately, I think are fairly inaccurate against enemy flyers, surprisingly, and seem to miss most of their shots, but I suppose it's not a huge deal for us. And handgunners really have very short range. We are really missing having gunnery wights. If we could get a war drum in here, we could probably, I think war drums increase reload, not range, but reload is at least something. We don't have a lot of ways, unfortunately, to buff up range units since we're not Vampire Coast, so they'll never be, you know, even a third as effective as they would be if we were playing that faction, but that's the way it should be. That's what keeps even having our units borrowed from our allies. Keeps them different, you know what I mean? Anyway, looks like, ineffective or not, they do manage to send those Pterodon Riders flying. And it looks like the main battle is about to begin. The enemy probably shouldn't have attacked us directly like this, but what they did do with their Pterodon Riders is heavily damage a couple of the units of the Halberdiers. The Immortal Landsknecht here suffered about half of their HP, and another unit back there did as well. Anyway, time for the enemy to charge. I like to save Raise Dead in defensive formations just for when the enemy is about to reach us, as they then take the brunt of the enemy charge. Granted, we do have charge defense and whatnot on the various halberdiers here, but why take additional damage when we don't need to? And there we go. The battle is joined. We also have our units of zombie-powered gunnery mob bombers. We did get them on a whim, but in this particular situation, this particular choke point battle, they should work out fairly nicely for us. And the bombs do quite a lot of damage, especially to blobbed-up infantry like this. And on top of dishing out plenty of damage, they also have that blinded effect, which is a minus 15 melee attack and defense debuff, though I do wonder for how long it lasts. 10, 12 seconds, maybe something along those lines. Anyway, the enemy has decided to send all of its units this way, and thus we are going to countercharge it with our own elites, our Scarlet Knights, as well as our Lord going directly for Kroq-Gar. Alright. And now it's just a matter of holding that choke point, getting a little bit of support from our gunners, but unfortunately the elevation isn't quite high enough, and we're having a little bit of a trouble firing over the heads of our units. But it's all good. Alright, a little bit of casting happening from our Blood Dragon Lord. Of course, Strigoi and Blood Dragons are both generally fairly lackluster at casting. Blood Dragons in particular are generally unlikely to learn, as they're all about the fighting. There we go, nice volley of bombs into that enemy formation. And another nice volley follows as well. Very, very nice. And the lizards have very much not made it through our formation as yet. I'm absolutely loving this army right now. How's Kroq doing? He's still got 75% of his HP, but it's Kroq-Gar. It does take a while to bring him down, even without Grimlock. Especially without Spirit Leech available. Now, it may warrant to put a vampire with Spirit Leech in this. Well, actually, no, we should be able to generally... actually, if he was on Grimlock, he might have died faster, as then all the zombie pirate gunnery mobs would have been able to focus him down. Well, they're finally starting to shoot over the heads of some of our units, probably at least a pile of the enemy that are moving towards us as the reinforcements have arrived, but by the looks of it, they're not achieving too much. Kroq-Gar, finally having taken enough damage, is attempting to back off. And the enemy continues to fail to make it through our battle line. Alright, I expect, let's see, zombie pirate gunnery mob bombers, very nice, nearly 30,000 damage on you and 41,000 damage on you. This really worked out for them. Such is the power of Nagash. Or Mannfred, I guess, or that's what he'd prefer we'd say, I'm sure. Anyway, looks like some Blessed Temple Guard have made it in, are facing off against our Grave Guard here. A little bit of a harder matchup for our Grave Guards, certainly. But even if the Blessed Temple Guard are still fighting and will continue to do so for a while, we can't exactly say the same about the rest of their army. Cute little alliance between the enemy lizards and the enemy Saurus and Skinks here. And it does look like a bunch of the enemy units that have routed are rallying. I think if I were to do this battle again, what I might do is, now knowing that the elevation is too low for, a lot of the gunners to actually fire for a lot of the battle, I would have kept maybe a couple of the units of halberdiers out of that battle line, rather than just one, and then sent them around like this with maybe 2 or 3 units of the handgunners to start firing into the backs and flanks of the enemy lizards. It didn't matter over much in this particular fight, but if we were faced off against tougher infantry and stuff, we would have probably needed it. Especially as we don't have a Mortis engine, and, we would have been eventually limited by the amount of damage our halberdiers could take. Anyway, just a little bit more, the bounce of power, about 85%, I'd say, in our favor. Temple Guard, of course, still holding and still attempting to attack us. And some Skinks and Saurus coming back, mostly Saurus, I'd wager. Skinks just look numerous, but obviously they have a lot more numbers in each individual unit. And by the looks of it, the battle is very nearly ours. And damn, those Blessed Temple Guard have been fighting for a while, and they still only lost about 15% of their HP. Probably another thing I should have done was to leave a hole in the battle lines here so some of the enemy units could have spilled through. I was actually expecting the enemy to sort of spill through from the sides there, but it didn't quite happen in that way. Anyway, either way, while tactically we could have done a teensy bit better, once again, it's a choke point battle. They're relatively simple, generally speaking, and we obviously carried the day, regardless of what the Hot Resolve was saying and giving it to Kroq in terms of favor. There we go. Battle Czars will do a little bit of chasing, and Saurus Smiter is acquired by Frederick von Karlsbruck. Alrighty, a really interesting fight. I wonder how that would have gone if it hadn't been a choke point battle, though, as that certainly made it easier for us to hold. The lack of elevation also made it a little bit of a problem for the gunnery mob handgunners to fight, but it gave a big advantage to the gunnery mob bombers that we got kind of on a whim, which were able to, well, bombard those massive piles of skinks and... they had a few Saurus, alright. A few Saurus, I was like, wait, High Elf Spearmen, yes, they had a unit of High Elf Spears, and those Blessed Temple Guard as well. But anyway, once again, the AI really likes to focus our Necromancers down. The AI does seem to be programmed to go after those support things, and the Necromancers seem to be taking the brunt of this. May really need to consider getting them some more defensive traits. I wonder if they have that one trait. Wait, we're going to return the captives in a second. Just want to see here at 36,000 damage, 198 kills. The Bale Hooks do the debut kill work. Return those captives. And oh, it's still the end of the turn. Yes, Clan Moors. You want a piece, perhaps? But no. Oh, hello. We got armies approaching finally. I guess technically we did get a field battle at Misty Mountain. But oh, he is alive still. Trade. Sure. Wait. Actually, trade is worth money. Oh, but we don't want him to become our vassal. We want to... Yeah, fine. Wait, how many territories does he have, I wonder? Well, we can't trade anyway. He's in a defensive alliance with Goldtooth, which might mean that we might be able to. But anyway, let's just keep him nice and friendly as much as we can. See if we can't get that Confed up and running. He is currently also trading with the Western provinces, which is good, because that probably means we now have a vision of them. Vlad wants a defensive alliance, but I'm going to say no. We want to keep him a little bit weaker so that we can confederate him, possibly. As otherwise we'll have to manually go over there and, you know, kick him. Until he decides to join. Ally mission successful, ally mission successful. There we go. Saurus Smiter, well earned by Frederick and his undead pike and shot. Corpse Cart Balefire, Hellsteed for Frederick as well. Clan Moors Pestilence Scheme performed. Okay, everybody's pestilenting it up. And tech researched. Great. Alright, so, two things we need to check. First of all, diplomacy. Western provinces are now visible, and they are willing to trade with us, and hey, they're doing fairly decently well as well. They should enjoy... Just out of curiosity. Not quite there to vassalage. Alright, fine, we will not join your war. We'll just try to keep getting friendlier with you for now, but I would like to vassalize the Cathian, well, just Cathians in general, but gifting them territory should probably do that for us. Vassal-wise, Caravan of Blue Roses at minus 37, they only have 2 territories, so it does make them likely to be confederated, but we have one more turn of cooldown. Alright, so as long as they don't die over that one turn, we should be okay. Since you're here, start annoying Kugath by stealing his tech. There we go. And yeah, I see Gorsty's attempting to reclaim stuff. Huh, he's got a Vargulf as well. Ooh, 6,000 casualties at Scrap Towers. If we get him up and running, we could immediately erase some stuff. Anyway, Crocky's, funnily enough, survived. If I had brought another Lord, we could have stolen his defeat trait as well, but oh well. Manny, we're going to have you move to the Golden Tower. We'll have Frederick reinforce and leech a little bit of that XP. And destroy these guys for good. Even if Saurus Smiter is an amazing trait and potentially worth keeping these guys around. Anyway. It still only buffs a single lord, and it's not as good as some other traits like old Grump Slayer. Anyway. There we go. Hurt that Necromancer a little bit more. Free Obsidian Lodestone. Sure. Occupy. And Kroggar, we hardly knew. Student Research, great. Corpse Cart Balefire, enemy killed in battle, Obsidian Lodestone, Golden Pass, Last Defenders, gone. And hey, we got to keep the Golden Tower. Free research rate, control, and income. Don't need the Binding Circle, however. And Manny, are you starting to lose your mana again? Well, you're not losing your mana. Wait. Wasn't he maxed out? How did he lose... How the heck did he lose 70 mana? Over like a turn or two. Huh? That's weird. He was at 237 or something like that, I saw. And the win, I feel like... Huh, I don't know what happened. If there wasn't a bug that causes our lords to lose their mana, as that would be annoying. Weird. Very weird. Genuinely not sure what happened. Also, let's just double check here. Okay, nothing interesting. You have the gibbet. You should probably go for the Balefire Brazier. Ooh. No, it's still at 2. I wonder how long that lasts. Alright, well, while we're confederating, and since we're confederating, we're gonna want to go into Bloodlines and use the von Carstein Bloodline to get the... Oh, we already have the +4 control from the first level. So all second level will give us this... Well, constant casualty punishment rate +5 isn't bad. Is it better than all enemies have lowered missile weapon range by 20% during battles, though? Or greater magic bond for summoned units with additional mana? It's essentially a refund. I guess the question then is, what kind of lord would we like to raise next? Well, either way, we probably can't afford one right now, and I'm gonna say the all enemies have lowered missile weapon range by 20% during battles is probably the most valuable. Yeah, Greater Magic Bond is fine as well. You know what, screw it, let's do the Greater Magic Bond. I mean, we're doing it all anyway, so it's not super important, but, you know. Also, Manny, you are at level 29, meaning the Claw of Nagash will be up and running next in a couple turns or so. So next turn, or this turn if there's a lord I like. Ghoulish Physician. We'll do you, I guess. Let's get you up and running. You are going to take Manny's to arrange units. Because Peter Grigorovich is going to go into Manny's army as his third and final White King. Why does Manny have so many White Kings? Well, they're going to give him more Graveguard on the field as spawns, and then the last unit will be the Claw of Nagash itself. It's probably... I mean, we could also do another Mortis Engine instead of the White King, but I'll see. We'll see how the army performs against late-game armies, and then make our decision based off of that. Any Vargeist editions here? Doesn't look like it. Wilmar and Kadan, does it matter who takes this? Not really. Oh, what does matter is that we first steal tech. There we go, just so we don't have to redo that. Nice successes as well. What are we at? Ooh, 607. Ooh, that means the basic techs at least are taking 1 turn now, which is lovely. I don't know how many turns other techs are taking, but that's... Oh, they're probably not actually 1 turn, it's just the... it's just a research point surplus that's doing it. But it was close. But anyway, let's go for the floating village. And did you never have a necromancer? You're 19 out of 20, eh? Ah, whatever. We'll get you a necromancer. Possibly right now if we have one. We'll see. Auto-resolve. Looks fine to me. And occupy. And then... Scarecrow banner. Probably good for the flying army, actually. In case they meet other flyers, we'll want to be able to fight them. Scarecrow banner for you. Razor standard, not for you. And... oh, you're right, I don't like that scroll of leeching. Your items are fine, at least for now, then. Alright, you guys stay here. You get outside of there and channel as well. We'll head up to Morgheim next. Manny is good. Dawn is good, Bathilda, and Co. So, we have Chant and Boyle, Roll, Kanab, Scythe. I don't see Queeky himself. Also steal from Crooked Fang Fort. And what do we have in terms of defenses here? Oh, basically non-existent. Alright, so we will have... Who has Siege Attacker again? Okay, it's Wilhelm. You two can take Crooked Fang Fort with an auto-resolve, and we'll see if these guys are willing to attack you over the end turn. I should also probably level them up, but I'll do so after next turn, I guess. Like so, and like so. And auto-resolve, double check that nobody's dying, and it doesn't look like it. They'll take a little bit of damage and get us another Razor standard, which we won't say no to. Occupy. And that's another... actually, you can... Wait, do we have a... Ooh, another Forbidden Rod. I can't finish a single thought. Yeah, Razor Stand is fine. We'll pop it on the Feasters in the Dusk. You can leave this and go into channeling, and the two of you can channel together. Some likelihood that they attempt to ambush stance us, but they're mostly using Skaven slaves in these armies, and, well, that's not a real concern to us. Anyway, we can... upgrade this stuff. I guess we'll keep the Abyssal Wood for now, because we need Mourngul and the other capacity, whichever it was, Vargeist capacity. That wasn't so expensive. These guys still sticking around here? I feel like we need a support army to attack. It's too many stacks right now until this army is stronger. You are going here. Let's double check for more... we do have more Vargeists, but it's Vargulfs we care about right now. Necromantic Ritual. Or not Vargulfs. Mourngulls. Because we're doing a Mourngul and Spellbreaker army. Go into Black Pyramid of Nagash, see if there's anything there. Come on, Hex Wraiths. No dice. Alright. Alright, that's fine. Then go into March Stance and head out to the desert. We know that there's some good stuff, or there was some good stuff generally here. And we're pretty close to it as well. And we know that there's also a big one at Xandri. Alright, nothing here. What about the assassins? You guys have a long, long way to travel. Go find some heroes, please, somewhere, anywhere. Oh, looks like these guys don't have any. Takes a long time for the assassins to get somewhere where we can make good use of them. But what can you do? Too bad we can't summon them, I guess, at the edges of our territory. Also, just out of curiosity here, what do we have here? Alright, so these guys are able to build Sepulchral Stalkers now, which are certainly an interesting unit to put with some of our armies. Funnily enough, we could just build Mourngulls from our allies, but don't see that there's a need, and they may be kind of buggy, so who knows. And that's it for them. Alright, you stay out here, keep channeling. Let's not bite off more than we can chew. Once again, I have a habit. Insatiable, yeah, you're going up this way. And I'd like to keep an eye out on what do we have as potential upgrades for the... another insatiable one. For the vampires. Deranged and Malevolent, neither one is of the type that we need. And I think we're out of White King. Flaming attacks for all grave... but flaming attacks are kind of not good, so... Alright, that looks good then. Let's continue. As much as we can, anyway. You are supposed to transfer that Vargeist, so keep going out this way. Is there a decent battle marker here? There is. Maybe another Vargeist, who knows? How many do you have right now? You have... well, you have a decent number, but it'll be a while until we get zombie dragons and such, so... yeah. You know what, maybe 5 is sufficient for now. Because we'll need Terrorgeist and zombie dragons in there, plus deck droppers. Oh, actually, speaking of deck droppers, are you telling me we can't build deck droppers yet? From any of our... vassals? Just give me a second here. None of you have access to deck droppers. Not one of you built the deck dropper tree. Huh, go figure. Alright, and we'll probably need maybe global recruitment thing from them. It would be nice to get those deck droppers. But anyway, okay, time to move the tech thieves once again. Let's get to thieving. They have been pretty critical in us getting our tech, so we gotta keep doing this. It's another couple of successes. I'll deal with their skill points between the episodes. Let's also move the vampires up to where they need to be. I also gotta increase their capacities as soon as possible, because vampire heroes are very, very good. Inevitable Death, you've got another level up. Specialist, and let's see how inevitable that death is here. Oh, come on. Need more blood kisses. Thanatologist, Statutory Lich Sense, Steel Tech. Steel Tech. I'll deal with the corpse cards later. And Brain Collector. Oh, right, you're out here. They moved away from Castle Baston, and ooh, we should take a look at the Red Duke in a second as well. His army is shaping up, not quite done, but getting there. Red Duke. Okay, wait. You can go in here. We'll need at least one more Necro for you. You can probably take... oh, the army's not complete. I would like you to get 3 Crypt Horrors, and... oh, wow, they are expensive. You know what? Build 4 Black Knights. We'll replace them with Blood Dragon Knights later, but for now we don't have them. And the Necros can serve as corpse carts. We'll need 1 more Necro, and I'd like 3 Crypt Horrors, but maybe we can raise them. Especially if we go to Castle Artois occupied, we could probably raise them there. Or possibly even Castle Baston. We're gonna have to start fighting these orcs, aren't we? Maybe kill off Eltharion, although... Are you willing to peace out? No. Let me just see here. Peace? Clan Moors. No, that's the one that we don't want to Peace out with a caravan of blue roses. I think they'll be confederatable shortly, so we'll ignore them for now. And everybody else, I guess, we'll ignore for now. Alright, that's fine. Going decently well. Gustav is fine, everybody else is fine. We moved all the tech thieves and stuff. Let's do building, and then let's proceed to next turn. Alright, back to gibbets and such. Or possibly tier 4 stuff, but I don't think we have any. Vulture Mountain's ready to go to tier 3, but not as big of a deal right now. Death Gorge has that tier 4 Pillar of Bone, but it'll be a long time before we get up to that as well. Is that a gibbet? It is indeed a gibbet. Lamia. Alright, we'll upgrade Lamia. It's got a bunch of useful stuff. And hey, the gold mine here, and the gallows here, and Carrick Zorn, you're gonna want a Balefire Brazier ASAP because it'll increase the money generated there. Teotiqua, you... I mean, also the Balefire Brazier, I guess. I mean, technically we do want these everywhere. Or every capital settlement. Gibbet. Blightwater. Upgrade Misty Mountain. Floating Village we can delete, but we can upgrade, or we can delete that thing, and build a Lich Yard, why not? While we're here. Alright, that's all of our cash. We can skip building upgrades. Commandment available. Let's go for the Foster. No, repress mortals, as we like to do. And turn. Hope I didn't forget anything. Alright, Confederation is up this turn. Moment of truth. Let's see if anybody... Underway. Okay, that's mini underway interception. You get this. A resolve. And take the tiny bit of money. Alright, I really am curious whether we can get another Confed going. Come on, free Gorst. Alright, let's see what we got. Settlement infected, Crooked Fang Fort. Oh no, Skaven Plague, it's the worst. It is just the worst. Oh, well, we're gonna have to deal with it. Maybe we'll get the commandment up and running. Enemy killed in battle, it's fine. War Banner, there's that Soulbinder. Imminent Rebellion in Eastern Badlands. Okay, uncollect the income. Oh wow, minus 25. Probably something the Plague is doing. No, then what's with the... Minus 20 from rating. Oh, these are both rating. One's going to be annoying. Alright, we'll have to deal with it. What we want to take a look at now is... minus 1. No, you got to be kidding me. Minus 1.5. We could threaten him into it. The problem is this. If we do it, we won't recover our reliability enough. And in 5 turns, we may want to... Ooh. Battle Healing Cap for Necromancer's Master Necromancer. That's a really nice Flayed Rock. Isn't this your last territory? No, you still have 2. Oh, this is so concerning. But yeah, we want that Flayed Rock for ourselves. And I guess all of the Dragon Isles will make us rich, so we'll probably have to send an army over here if, well, Gorst will hopefully be able to deal with it. How's Cathay doing? Kind of iffy. But if we capture, for example, Chiang and give them to these guys, they'll probably be willing to be our pets. Golden Order, you really hate us, whereas the Cathians, they don't care. Okay. Interesting, but it'll make the Cathians good allies. Anyway, let's see. We're kind of out of time. I don't think we can reach either of these guys, so they're just going to keep raiding and annoying us and spreading their plagues around. I don't think that there's any battle that we have available to us right now, unfortunately. And if we don't, I'd rather deal with some of the admin between the episodes so that when we come back at next episode, we won't have to deal with any more. You will go after Teclis. And I guess we'll send these two... Would it be better to go down... Well, we have more armies here. We really need to defeat this, but I'm concerned about this army moving and, for example, taking the Golden Tower, which will be kind of undefended. I wonder how these guys will react if we move you in. I guess we'll have to figure that out next time, guys. I'm gonna call the episode here. Next time we move southward and continue taking this continent for ourselves and, well, move southward and northward at the same time and look towards one of those confederations as soon as we can. Might even ply him with a little bit of... Well, will the cash make him stronger, or will it make him like us more? That's a question. I don't know, because he might be able to use that cash to get more units and stuff. Alright, well, we'll figure it out next time, so stay tuned for more. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially the threshold for the longer episodes. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.